We're here on the Good Times show. We got our family in the house right now. Mansion Tutt. What it do, good brother?
Yes, hello. I'm blessed to be here. Thank you for having me, Jada Green. Thank you for having me, Princess.
You are welcome.
Y'all family. Hold on, let me just say that I'm so happy y'all back on the air, man. Y'all fought, and I said it to you on my email, my voice note, Jay. Yo, just to see y'all back doing what y'all do, and y'all went through a lot. A lot of people don't know what y'all went through, but I was able to, have insight on it and know that y'all went through y'all Katrina. And now y'all back and y'all rebuilding, and I got a crazy amount of respect for y'all. To even hear y'all voices together, because you know what happens when things go wrong. And it's like, no, Princess, it was your fault. You should have did that grade in 8. No, Jay, it was your fault. You should have did the fashion weekend. But it's nice to see y'all held together. Y'all a team, man, and thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that 100%. Well, you family, man. It's so good to see you back. It's so much to talk about, man. We got
much catching up to do.
I know. So we got the hot fire. You and Red Cafe, Gangsta Love. How did that come about?
That came about through a producer by the name of Zukan Bey. Zukan Bey did a lot of my production. He did the track for Red, and he asked me would I want to get on it. I said, yeah, let's do it. I laid my verse, and they let it go. He also did Paper Touching. He did Paper Touching, which is one of Red Cafe's biggest records. I don't know what you mean, like, but he remind me about paper. He did that record, so that's where their relationship stemmed from.
Okay.
Now, could there be a video coming up between you two?
Probably not. Probably not. It was a thing where I had an opportunity to get on a record, and I got on a record and did what I did. I don't know if it was. I don't know. Where is that at this point? I do know that Red is not pushing it, but I do know that it ended up getting like 1 million caches on Google. A lot of people, it went all over the world. It's probably one of his strongest records. I don't know if he's willing to admit that, but it's probably one of his strongest records. But I think it's based on the dynamics between where him and the producer is right now. Has nothing to do with me. It's probably where they are right now, their dynamics on their relationship. I personally think is one of his better records, but that's just my opinion. He's on Bad Boy. I'm on No Boy. So there you go.
Okay. So what's in the making right now with Mansion Tutt? Like, what you got popping off for the rest of 2012 going into 2013?
I just been recording, man. Like, I've been recording, and I've been dealing with a situation where recording and not being an engineer, I have to wait for my music to get mixed. So I'm recording with some, with some producers who work. Let's just say they work for people who are, not to knock them, I don't want to sound like I'm, getting at them, because I say enough to them in their face. They work with people who pay their bills. When you're working with Brandy, and you're working with Fat Joe, and you're working with, what's his name, Ace Hood, when you're doing stuff like that, those are your priorities. So when you believe in me as an artist, yeah, we record 20-something records. Now, I have to wait for you to get time to mix those.
Right.
So, right now, I just been spending the bulk of this time just recording. So, knocking down music, and every now and then I'll get a joint mix. When they come together, it'll come together, but I'm not sitting here feeding nobody no false lines. It is what it is. I'm an underdog, and other people have obligations, and that's how they take care of their families, and I'm just waiting for my music to get mixed. That's it.
Now
out of respect for them, because I can mix it. I can get it mixed myself, but out of respect for the producer, they want their songs and they beat to sound a certain way. So you kind of in a catch-22 as an up-and-coming artist, for real.
Now, you're a guy that talks with a lot of poise in his voice, a lot of integrity, and then at the same time you're humble, but you also know your history, your craft. Like, what keeps you humble? Because a lot of guys get out here and they just blabber and they just talk all crazy. You talk real humble, but you talk with integrity. Like, where does that come from?
me no other way outside of the way I want my son to see me behaving with just me and him. Like he has to listen to an interview, and you got to look at a video and know that that's still my dad. Like I know him, he's being himself. And I also, man, I'd have been shot up and was told I wasn't gonna be able to walk. I was homeless. I slept in the car without no window, and didn't have nowhere to stay. Sleeping in a house with no hot water and not being able to walk and having to wash up with cold water. Those things humble you, man. God humble you, because I was an arrogant son of a man. I was super arrogant.
Wow.
And at one point in my life, I was very arrogant. But then, God humbles you. And it may sound people like, yeah, you on, but no, real rap. When God humbles you, man, you don't have to worry about trying to stay humble. It's something that's instilled in you.
Okay.
And arrogance has to be earned. That has to be earned. It's not something you pick up because you have good graphics on your Twitter page. Arrogance has to be earned. Floyd Mayweather has the right to be arrogant.
True.
Right. You're absolutely right. I dig that, man. I like that. Now, it's a lot of things going on out here in the rap game. Like, what is your take on the rap music right now? Because, like me personally, I came up during the era of, the 80s, the 90s, when, guys rapped about things that meant something. You rapped about things that you knew about. Like, what is your take on music now and your perception of what the labels are doing and the artists that are getting signed?
Well, I think that it's still the same. And let me just, when you say I speak with poise, well, I was trained. This is just my natural way of communicating. And also, you gotta understand, man, when you're passionate about something, you gotta be careful the volume you use, because you start raising your voice, you start sounding like the mad rapper. Remember, if you're not signed and you speak passionately about something, you're the mad rapper. But when somebody puts a paper in front of you and you sign it and you speak passionately about it, then you're Tupac.
Right.
So you got to be careful. You're not allowed to be volume and passion when you're unsigned. You have to speak with a certain amount of poise, or people view you as the mad rapper. This is really that simple. So, but back to your question. Your question was how I view things now versus then. I think it's the same. I think that artists are still speaking on the things they went through, the things they going through, and what they see is just that they're dumber. They aren't as smart as that's real talk. Artists aren't as smart as they used to be. Artists are a lot dumber now, and it's because rap dumbed down. It dumbed down, and keep in mind, there was a lot of things that we weren't exposed to. Well, now they're being exposed to a lot of different things, and nobody knows how to channel it. So I think artists are still speaking on. You can't tell me that. Let me think. You name a rapper, anybody, Gucci Mane. He's speaking on his real life experiences.
Right.
You can't say that he's not because he doesn't rap like Nas. You can't say that. He's speaking on his real life experiences. His real life experiences that his wrist is like lemonade.
True.
That's his real life experience. It's a culture thing. Nas' real life experience was one love. His man was writing him a letter. So I think that artists are still doing it. It's just it's a different mind state now. It's different. It's not the way that it used to be. Just like in the early 90s, it wasn't the way that it was in the 80s. It was a little different. And 94 wasn't the way it was in 88.
True. I agree with that.
I wasn't
you know what I'm saying?
born then,
And as far as the labels, I think that the labels have gotten very lazy. And as far as
the labels have turned into almost like the auto industry. They're not artists developing artists no more. They're not trying to make legendary artists. They're just doing artists like cars. They're manufacturing artists, shipping them out, shipping them in.
I agree. You know something? I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that the labels have turned into like you said, like the auto industry, and also I think that nowadays artists need to come to grips with this. You don't need a record company. like the artists really need to come to grips with that. If you have internet service and you have access to the UK, you got access to the entire world. You don't, once a label gets wind of you, because they have A&R research people now who sit around and see who's getting what hits and what they're doing online. Once you get to that point, once a label contacts you, at that point as an artist, you should know I don't need one now. Because they're not going to contact you until you already moving.
Yeah, that's true. That's straight up true. Now
they're not going to contact you until you're already moving. So what do you need them for?
Now let's switch the scene. Let's switch the guy right now.
What is your view? Like, what is your opinion on the Philly movement and how things are going for the city of Philly?
I think, you know what, man. Let me just say, I love my city, and you may even hear my tone change a little bit here, man, because I'm passionate about Philly. Born and raised here. My entire family's in Philly. Man. I got hundreds of cousins in Philadelphia. And it's sad, man. The Philly rap scene is really sad. And I'm not just talking sad like, oh, man, this rapper didn't get signed or that producer didn't get a beat place. I'm talking sad like, man, culturally, it's just desolate, man. And I say that, just look at it for what it is. We got a whole bunch of rappers in Philly. Now you name one that's in position to do something for somebody else.
Y'all got Meek Mills, right?
Now what position is he in to do anything for anybody else? He's been waiting for his album to come out for 3 years now. You're not keeping track of the times, but other people are. He's been over there now almost 3 years, and he's been waiting for that album.
And before that, he was signed to Grand Hustle.
He wasn't ever signed to Grand Hustle. Charlie Mack got him the co-sign from Grand Hustle because that was the only way that they can really get him on Philly radio. Philly radio doesn't deal with you unless you got a co-sign.
Okay, but what about Jay doing the tour and the big movie coming back to Philly? You think he'll put some Philly artists on there, or maybe?
You said Jay doing the big movie?
Yeah, he doing the In America or We Are America show in Philly, and he's going to film it with Ron Howard, the big movie director. I mean, you think that's going to bring some attention to Philly, and he's going to show some love to Philly by putting Philly artists on that?
I don't know. I mean, at one point, look at this. You know something, man? It's so easy to fault the parent that decided to stop taking care of their child at 35. It's so easy because it's mother and child. But let's just look at it for what it is, man. Why isn't a Philadelphia artist in position to do that same exact thing for Philly artists? Why do we all automatically look for somebody else to be in a position to do something for us? Beanie Siegel was over there in 1998. He's 15 years into his career. Why isn't he in position to do that same movie?
Wow.
That's true.
That's a deep question.
Why isn't Petey Crack in position to do that movie? Why isn't Eve in position to do that movie? Why isn't Freeway in position to do that movie? Cassidy been signed since 01, 02. Yeah. Why isn't he in position to do that movie?
I thought DJ Jazzy Jeff brings a lot. I thought Jazzy Jeff brings a lot. Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff don't bring anything there and open up doors for Philly?
Okay. All right. First, let me say that my family, the ones that found Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff. My last name is Goodman, and my family is Lawrence Goodman and Dana Goodman. They had Pop Art Records back in the day, and they signed these two young kids called Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff. Right? Okay. Now, DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince have been away from the music scene, really, probably since Summertime Video.
Wow.
That's almost 20 years, man. I did the remix of Summertime on his 20-year anniversary. So now you take that and you take the 15 years that someone like Beanie Siegel has been signed or been involved directly into the music business. Now you do the comparisons. Now should Will Smith have some actors coming out of Philly? Probably. Does he? I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? But I can tell you that the same person that wash your car shouldn't be responsible for keeping gas in it too. I mean, everybody got different roles. This man is a movie star. He's been, I mean, he did Independence Day. How many rappers is he really supposed to have time to put on?
Yeah, but see, at the same time, Philly breaks a lot of records. Philly got a lot of big stations
What,
there.
what record did Philly break?
Well, I'm talking about as far as radio stations. Like, you know, y'all are considered as a market.
Yeah.
You know, Philly is an A market.
Philly is not that. Philly is not that. Just go on. Just see that. See, that's the misconception, man. Philly is known for having great rappers and having big buzzes. But now, what I want you to do is, man, go to SoundScan, go to BDS, and really clock and see how much do we really take part in consuming. How many records get sold in Philadelphia? Really? And when it comes to big radio stations, we only really have one. We got Power 99. We're supposed to have a sister station. We're supposed to have another station, but we really only got Power 99. I'll tell you what, name 2 Philly DJs to me. Since we have so many big DJs, since we got so many big radio stations. Name 2, because I can name 5 from New York. I can name 5 from Atlanta. Give me 2 Philly DJs.
Wow.
I
Man,
don't know
you shedding some light right now, man. So what needs to change then? Give us the blueprint of what needs to happen right now.
What needs to change is radio. Radio needs a counterpart, man, to Power 99. Radio, it needs to be, and we do have 100.3, but they've changed their name 3 or 4 times because something has been going on with the radio station, so they keep having to start over, so there's not really no knock on them. And I'm not trying to be politically correct, but they are really, like, trying to compete, but politically or financially things keep going wrong. We need that other radio station. We need our, you know how New York got Power 105 and it got Hot 97? Well, we need that as well. Everybody in Philadelphia depends on one man to make it in their career. One man, that's Cosmic Cast. Every Philadelphia artist depends on this one man, Cosmic Cast, for the last 15 years. Cosmic Cast is the only person that somebody can call and get the okay from the sign and rapper from Philadelphia.
Wow.
15 years. You mean to tell me, look at this. Philadelphia, we 5 times smaller than New York, but we got 100 times more rappers.
Sounds like we need to fight to get the Good Time show in Philly.
Man, you listen. I spoke to DJ Chubby Chub out in Boston, and I've been speaking to people. Yo, Philadelphia needs people to come here and create avenues, because put it like this: why do you think that every rapper from Philadelphia has to go get a cosign? And it goes all the way back to Bahamadia when Guru co-signed her. Yeah, I take it way back.
Wow.
It goes all the way back there. Every rapper from Philly, let's just name them. Besides my family was the last ones that had people on the turnpike coming to Philadelphia to get signed. Marley Marl, Roxanne Shante. That was my family that had people coming to sign in Philadelphia. Since then, it's been who? It's been Ram Squad, and they needed who? They needed Nelly to co-sign them. Let's see if you even know who Ram Squad is. But Nelly had to co-sign them at that point when they got their deal with Universal. Right after that was Beanie Siegel. Who co-signed him? Jay-Z. Who co-signed Cassidy? It was Swiss. Who co-signed Eve? Jadakiss and DMX.
Yeah, Rough Riders. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Who co-signed Meek Mill? Who co-signed Meek Mill? It was T.I. and then it was Rick Ross. Who co-signed Tone Trump? Jeezy. Think about that. The reason why that is because if you live on a block and let's just say you got this mom who's not feeding her kids in the house, they got to go to the neighbors to eat or they're gonna starve.
Wow, man. So like
that's why. So Philly artists have really runaway adopted kids.
Sounds like we gotta put a power meeting together in Philly, man, and get things back on track. I'm gonna see how we can get a station out there to support the Good Time show, because I would love to come to Philly and we make it right and we show that love and we start popping records.
Because we look for independent artists all the time, but it's hard to find any because it feels like don't nobody want to push their music. So if we came to Philly, I mean, we could help everybody out.
Let me tell you something, man. It's Philadelphia. It's so many Philly artists that will more than enough fill your plate. And you
True. That's true. That's straight up true.
You have to just come. You have to just come in and just create that lane. That's where it has to start somewhere. But Philadelphia artists, man, are nothing until they get that cosign. And until somebody can tell me the artist that they believe in without a cosign, then I win that argument. What artist is out doing their thing for Philadelphia without a major cosign?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you 100%.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, a lot of people not gonna like that, but it is the truth, man. The truth is that out of all of these people in Philadelphia, there are no bosses. Okay, I'll tell you what. Name me the businessman in Philadelphia that everybody talks about. The one that you know you could go through. Where's our Chris Lighty? Where's our Kevin Lyles? Where's our Tina Davis?
What about
the managers? We don't have that.
Yeah, old boy that who handled Will Smith for years. What's his name? Charlie Mack.
Oh, Charlie Mack. Okay, all right. Charlie Mack happens to be a very good friend of mine. Okay, so I'll tell you what then. Let's do this. Who has Charlie Mack put on?
I mean, he's brought a lot of celebrity basketball events and things like that to Philly, right? I mean, I've never. He brings the stars to Philadelphia. But I'm not asking about the person who throws the parties and the weekends. I'm talking about the Chris Lightys, the people who wake up and say, my job, my talent is to expose other talents. So why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Why do you think that hasn't popped off in Philly yet?
It's because first I think it starts off with the city. The city is a blue-collar city, so therefore we respect workers. We the workers. We the ones with the blue hats on. We don't have nobody that's willing to say, you know what, I can rap or I can make beats, but you know something, I'm gonna be a manager or I'm gonna be the liaison between the labels and the artists right here. We don't have nobody to do that. And then to Charlie Mack and then to Charlie Mack's defense. I mean, Charlie Mack came out when Summertime was out, and even before that, in 20-something years, nobody has said, damn, why should it only be on Charlie Mack in order for artists to have a manager? Who else? Damn, we don't got nobody else with a business line? It's been Charlie Mack and Cosmic Kev for the last 20 years. In the whole city, we the 5th largest market. And in the whole city, we got 2 people that you can go to for music, and we are predominantly music city.
That's crazy.
Now I know this is not Philly, but you got Wiz out of Pittsburgh. I mean,
And you know something? And that was, we had a conversation one day. It was me, Charlie Mack, it was Non Brigade. We was all in the studio, and that came up, and I was saying that I wish that Meek had went that route because people don't know that Wiz Khalifa don't even have he doesn't even have urban radio in Pittsburgh. If you Google it, there's no urban radio in Pittsburgh.
True, you right up on that.
So what he did was he hit the road and he collected a fan base and did it on his own. And if Meek had have done that, then what would have happened was a lot of people would have followed that blueprint. But what he did was he signed, and I don't know what his financial situation was. That man is a father. I don't know what he had to do at that moment based on politics and what was going on in his situation. I only know hearsay. I know that Charlie Mack used to manage him, but there's always 2 sides to every story. I don't know what happened, but I do know that what happened was when he signed over to Rick Ross, he continued on what we felt about with Beanie Siegel. You have to sign to somebody else that's on in order to get on. You can't do it on your own.
So give me the one. Give me one straight direction right now. If it was in your hands to get Philly in the right direction, give us the blueprint right now of what needs to take place.
What needs to take place is we need more radio in Philadelphia. We need for artists to know that there are other outlets and that you don't have to go to Cosmic Kev in order to get on. And that's nothing against Cosmic Kev. But sometimes that man may be in a bad mood and your record just not going to get played now because he's in a bad mood. There should be other outlets. It shouldn't just be Charlie Mack. Charlie Mack may not see everything. We need other outlets. We need management, and we need another radio station. station. And we need for that radio station to be dedicated, not just say, you know something, we just going to try this market. We need that radio station to say, man, we actually getting looks from, you know, the labels based on this show right here. We need that, and it needs to be, it needs to be indie driven. It needs to be something where the indie artists know that if my music is done right and is done professionally, and I present it well, and I go there and I'm passionate about what I do, I'm gonna get a shot from Princess. I'm gonna get a shot from Jay, and I'm gonna get this record played, and somebody's gonna hear this.
Now let me
need. We don't have that.
Now let me say this. Now, you know, we stand strong and fight for what we believe in. If you could set up meetings, listen. If you could set up meetings, we will fly out there with whatever station, with whatever PD, and we will push to get the Good Time show there in Philly because we show love to independent artists. As long as it's good music, we show love to it. So let's get a show in Philly that's gonna be right and bring that energy. We with you, bruh. Let's do it.
Okay.
You feel me? Let's start taking meetings. We will fly out to Philly and meet with every station you set up.
Let's try.
Let's do it. And tell DJ Chubby Chubb, Brian hit DJ Chubby Chubb up and tried to get him on our network, to get him on the station to spin. We never heard back from him. We trying to network and politic with everybody.
We trying to get independent artists, but they don't want to hit us back and do the work.
You know something, man, and like I said before, is that people need to see the train moving. Everybody's not a visionary. And then also, when it comes to artists, you gotta, on this online thing, right?
Right.
You got everybody, like, I get emails all day long. Everybody wants $75 for something, right? I mean, a lot of you not. I could pull up 20 different emails with an amount of $75. So, as an artist, you know, when people start hollering at you, you automatically thinking that they want something because there are more opportunists online than visionaries.
True.
People know their artists are hungry, so what do? They come bait their hunger. And they say, give me $75 for this, give me $100 for this, you know how much money I've spent on just doing bad business online? You know how much money I've spent? But the thing is that people don't even respect you if you're not spending $300-400 with this person, $300-400 with that person. You can't possibly, as a starving artist, a hungry artist, spend $100 with 30 different people all month long. You can't possibly do that, man. It can't be done. And nowadays, nobody's respecting your rhymes. Nobody's respecting how good your songs are. It's about how many sites are you on. When the last time you been on World Star? Oh, you're not on Black TV? Oh, I don't gotta respect you. So, you know, a lot of radio stations make it bad for people like yourselves too, because then they offer these spins and they'll never clock on BDS. They don't tell the artist that if I don't spin it for 2 minutes, then you're not gonna get that spin.
Right. Well,
they don't say that.
Well,
they know they don't add the $1,200 in order to check that BDS to see if it got spun.
But see, that's what make it great with us, because at the end of the day, we are a registered station. We are a registered show. We with BMI, ASCAP. We with all. We everything goes through our publishing department. Everything is 100. So if Cat send us the records and they publish it and set up right, they get them publishing checks from our division.
Yeah. Oh well, you know something, man. Listen, from day one, y'all have always dealt with everything, you know, with the extreme amount of perfection. You know, professionalism. Like, I've never ever heard anything bad about the Good Time show. And from my dealing with y'all always about y'all BI. But I'm telling you right now, just like how you on the phone talking to me and you like, damn, you know, not to toot my own horn, but you're probably like, I wish it was more artists who knew how to speak like that, or who know how to get this message across. Man, we wish that it was more radio stations like y'all. It's not. There's a lot of, man, there's 98% of the people online are frauds. And the whole game is online. So, I mean, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, you're right.
That's true.
You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm going to say this, man, so people don't think that I'm being biased. Also, Philly rappers have to learn how to do this thing called, I'm trying to think, what is it called? Damn. Oh, read. Stop making these dumbass songs, man. Stop making all these dumbass songs and expecting for people to just to play your music. Put a little bit of thought into it, man. I mean, I lie to you not, man. It sound like the average Philly rapper ain't read a book in like 5 years. Like, that's real talk, man. Like, that's real rap. Start reading, man. It's not going to make you no square. It ain't going to make you corny. It actually makes you a human being. Read a damn book.
Straight up.
God, man. Like, so you can't expect for somebody to play your music when your song sounded just like his song and that person is signed already. Like,
yo, let me tell you, Mansion, that's just not Philly rappers.
At all. That is every independent artist. I've always said that. It doesn't make sense to me to rap about something that's in, like, I understand, like, rapping about, like, your background and your personal and, like, how you came out of life, but it doesn't make sense to rap about the mall down the street from you, because the average person that's in another state doesn't even know what mall you're talking about, so they can't compare to it. So you need to make music that everybody can compare to instead of just you.
People have put salary caps on a mind. That's what's going on. Salary caps. And I say that to say this is that people are limited now. Is it? I don't know, man. I find it weird that in the state of hip hop, when we are at our most limitless, when we can have access to anybody, we now rap the most limited.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true.
It's kind of crazy, because when you think back, you know, artists used to, do certain things, but now they still do that, but it's just so limited. And I didn't speak on, Chicago rappers. I didn't speak on Detroit rappers because I don't know them dudes. I don't know what the environment is, but I know what the environment is in Philly, and I know that Philadelphia rappers have stopped being hungry. And I sat down with Cosmic Kev, and this is what I told Cosmic Kev to his face. I sat down with him. I said, Kev, it was me, him, and Charlie Mack and me. And if you ask either one of them, they'll tell you. This is exactly what I said. It was when Meek Mill got signed over there. He had been over there for a little while now, and my music was being played for Kev, and Kev was like, I don't really like the production. And I was like, okay. He said, but one thing about you, man, you don't sound like nobody. I've never heard another rapper sound like you. And that's rare for Philly artists, because everybody in Philly sounded like. And I looked at Kev and I said, that's because Philly only plays one kind of record. I said, we got a Nas in Philly, we got a Jay in Philly, we got a Andre 3000 in Philly, we got a CeeLo Green in Philly, we got a Mariah Carey in Philly, we got a Mary J. Blige in Philly. But when they wake up and all they hear is Meek Mill, I told him, I said, Philly only support one rapper every 10 years. From 1998 to 2008, we only supported Beanie Siegel. From 2008 to 2018, we only going to support Meek Mill. So you're going to have a bunch of Beanie Babies, and I told Cosmic Kev, you're going to have a million Meeks.
Oh, wow.
You got to think about it, man. Like, people, you can be agitated at whatever you want to be agitated at what I'm saying, but I deal with numbers. You go back to me and show me the artist. What's his name? Jay Urban got on radio one day and said Jay Urban is the one that managed Eve. I don't know if he's still managing that to this day, but that's Dr. J's son. It's the person that, was finger rolling. His pop was finger rolling for us. His pop was the one who had his first shoe endorsement, Converse. He brought that into the league. Dr. J from the Foul Line. This is Dr. J's son. Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He got on the radio one day and said, he said, listen, I don't expect for y'all to support Eve. He said, y'all never support nobody from Philly. He said, I don't expect that, man. I don't expect that. He said, Eve has had some of the biggest songs, and none of them got spun in Philly.
Wow. That's crazy.
I mean, it is what it is. We only support one rapper per 10 years. Now, if you let somebody hear this, they're going to jump in their bag and start. But if you deal with from this point back, you got to show me the other rappers that's been supported. You mean to tell me that we got 5 times more rappers than New York City, and we 5 times smaller, but we only coming out with one rapper every 10 years?
That's crazy, yo.
Come on,
that's not right, man.
One rapper every 10 years. So you know what that does. See, what that does is it makes fools scarce amongst the wolves. So that's why Philadelphia artists hate each other so much. That's why they hate each other. That's why they bet. Man, you know how many rappers they call the radio station to have my songs removed off radio? I've had rappers take conversations with me and send it to Cosmic Kev in his email. I've had so much because you know why? It's because the food is so scarce, and you go to any jungle and you take away the food supply, and you're gonna start having lions attacking other lions.
That's true. Everybody fighting for that number one spot.
Because it messes up the balance. It messes up the balance. So that's why I say we need other radio stations in Philadelphia, so the Philadelphia rappers don't have to be
against each other.
Cutthroat orphans.
Yeah.
Philadelphia rappers are cutthroat orphans. That's what they are. They cutthroat orphans, and once they get in somebody's door when it's time to eat, they shut the door behind them. Show me the rapper. Show me a rapper that got on and brought other rappers with him. I know who you're going to name, and I'm going to kill you as soon as you name him. Show me the rapper from Philadelphia that got on and brought other rappers with him.
Yo, that's crazy, man. You bring a lot of truth to the table. So
you want to say Beanie Siegel. You want to say Beanie Siegel and state property, don't you? You want to say that, but you're not sure. Because if you do say that, I'm going to let you know that Beanie Siegel that brings state property to the table, they got themselves signed.
Wow.
Didn't know that.
And that's a known fact. That's a known fact. Petey Crack met Dame Dash in Miami. Chris and Eve, they got brought in by Sadiq and Roller. That was Black Friday, who had them perform 4 songs. The only one that I think that Beans might have brought in may have been Freeway. I think they met in jail or something like that, or they met somewhere where somebody was bad, and I think that was the only one. Oskino and Sparks, well, they came from North Philly, and they got brought in because of the buzz that they was doing on their own. So you got to admit, like that, and if it happens, you can't knock Beans though, because who helped him get in?
Right. No, straight up.
Yeah, so you only do what you're told. If you abuse your children gonna go up and abuse theirs.
Well, man, listen, we gonna change that movement. We gonna focus on changing that dynamic, and like I said, we gonna definitely power out together. We gonna get that right radio out there in Philly. Something I want to touch on before we let you go is health. We got 100 days of health going on, and I know health is a very serious thing to you right now. You was talking about how we prepare people on everything. You know, we prepare people on protecting themselves, watching out for violence, but we don't touch on health. And you was just talking about that, and I just want you to touch bases on that real quick before we let you get out of here.
Well, as far as health, man, I mean, there's a lot of things that are the obvious. Like I stated before, we know that black on black crime, we know that homicides, we know that's obvious. We know AIDS is obvious. We know that all of the obvious things we know about the disease, but nobody don't talk about heart disease. Nobody don't talk about high cholesterol. Nobody talks about diabetes. Well, shout out to Uncle O on Power 99. He talks about diabetes a lot because he's a diabetic. But nobody don't tell you that when you're 25 and under, that you know what, you can survive getting shot. You can wear a condom every time. Oh, but damn, you might die in 5 years of heart disease because you're black and you're more susceptible to heart disease than a diabetic and high cholesterol.
Wow.
Because if they told us that, then we will start eating different. And if black people ever start eating different, even though we're the minority, if we ever start eating different, then the government going to have to do something different because they're going to have to change the food. So if we ever start eating different, you'll start to see the economy change because we're the ones that keep the economy going, especially in the food industry. We are in the ghetto. You know why the ghetto is so poverty stricken? It's not just about thought, because some of the world's biggest geniuses are in the ghetto, right now sitting on the corner. But it's the diet, man. Diet is key. When you eat different, you think different. And
Absolutely.
When you eat different, you're around long enough to realize some of them dreams that you have. So it's diet, man. We have to start educating people on diet. Your blood. Genetically, like I said, blacks only been here 500 years. It takes thousands of years for a human to even evolve into an environment. So African Americans are not even built for this right here. So culturally, everything we touch is wrong. Culturally, food-wise, and that's why it damages us the way that it does. So we need people like y'all to give us insight on diet. Diet is key. To be as smart as you want, as rich as you want, whatever you want. But if you ain't around in order to realize any of that stuff, what does it matter?
Wow. Well, listen, so that means that you're going to pledge our 100 days of health, right?
Man, I'm with it, man. I've been doing 100 days of health probably for about a few thousand days now. Let's get it.
Y'all here right here on the Good Time Show, Mansion Tutt. It's always a pleasure, man. You can't stay away that long. You gotta come back.
You gotta come back and always chill and kick it with us.
Yes. You know, so I'm doing something about the things I spoke on too, man. So, you know, don't be surprised to see me moving away from being an artist, man, and start moving into going to do some business. Because instead of trying to go out here and look for resources, man, I might just become a resource myself.
That's what's up, and that's the way it's supposed to go.
Your actions.
Let's do it, baby. We here on the Good Time Show. Keep it locked, y'all. We'll be right back.